When I was 3 or 4, I was a bit of a problem child. I wasn't a bad kid, but I was highly energetic, impulsive, and had anger issues, which led me to bad behavior and making some big mistakes. One of these times, I was bugging my mom. I kept asking her what was for dinner, and after a while of me asking, she answered. She said that we were having chicken nuggets. I was kind of upset because I wanted macaroni and cheese. So I asked her if we could have that instead, and she obviously said no. So I kept asking, getting more and more upset until I was having a full-on temper tantrum. She ended up sending me to my room in timeout for, I believe, 10 minutes. After what felt like forever, I was still upset. So I decided to run away. For some reason, my room had a door leading outside in it. I didn't have my shoes or a jacket or anything in my room, so I decided to just run away with what I was wearing. I ended up running to the woods in nothing but a t-shirt, shorts, and socks. I ended up getting lost, and it started raining at some point. I started to cry after a while. After some time running and crying, I came across some people, 2 teenage girls. They looked like identical twins, both wearing a white t-shirt, skirt, and shoes. Both had blonde hair and vivid green eyes. They were just standing there, not doing anything, until I walked up to them. They asked me what I was wrong, and I told them that I was lost. They then asked me if I wanted them to bring me back home, and I said yes. They then each grabbed one of my hands and led me out of the woods. It should be noted that they didn't look or feel wet, which is strange considering it was raining. But I didn't think about that until after. They continued to walk, ignoring every house until they got to mine. I was asked if this is where I lived, and I said yes. They knocked on the door, and my mother answered and let us all in. Then, they told my mother that they found me lost in the woods and that they were helping to bring me back home. They turned and walked out the door and closed it. I ran to the door to thank them, but they weren't there. Even if they'd booked it, they would have been able to be seen running, but that wasn't the case. They just disappeared. I got mac and cheese for dinner like I wanted, and it all seemed to be okay again. Unfortunately, that was only part of the story. See, that wasn't the only time I went to those woods. The second time, when I was 6, I technically had permission, and spent my time navigating it and exploring. It was fun. Not much happened until I reached a cliff. I thought it was so cool, so I sat at the edge and looked down into the view, but soon realized that something was wrong. All the sounds of the forest had stopped. I just stood up when I heard a series of loud claps. The sound of twigs being broken. I looked around, but didn't see anything. But what I heard, it chilled me to the bone. I heard other children laughing and giggling. I didn't know these voices, but they seemed to know me, as they started calling me to join them. I booked it back the way I came. As I ran, the voices turned from laughing and giggling into crying and yelling, begging me to come back and to play. When I reached the edge of the woods, and was a few steps away from being back into town, I turned around. What I saw made my blood run cold. I saw 3 things. They looked kind of like children, but their skin was blue and rotting away, with mouths almost too big for their heads, and their eyes were soulless, empty white voids. I turned and ran faster, booking it home faster than I ever ran before. When I tried to tell my parents and 3 siblings, they all thought that I was making it up. It was a long time before I went back into those woods. In fact, the next time I went in was when I was 19. It was summer vacation, and my family Aside from my brother, Adam, who was going camping with his friends in Robinson State Park, had decided to go camping. My love and longing for the woods had only increased over the years, so I was psyched. We set up camp and did normal campfire things. It was all going well, and then night came. I woke up in the middle of the night, needing to take a piss, so I went out and wandered a bit, finding a tree that I liked and did my thing. I heard a man and a woman screaming from another part of the woods, but I ignored it. I was walking back when I saw something really weird. It looked kind of like a fox, but something was off. It had the most foul stench that I'd ever smelled, worse than any smell of rotting flesh. It was also missing a tail, and had the most bright, vivid blue eyes that I'd ever seen. It then attacked, leaping on me, tearing my flesh with its claws and teeth. However, just when it seemed like it was going to kill me, I heard my name being called from the direction of the camp. The creature leapt off of me and ran away on its hind legs. I made my way back to camp, where my horrified family listened to me tell them what happened. We decided to pack it up and leave right then. After that incident, I ended up looking up that creature. The closest thing I found was called a skinwalker. If that's what it was, then I was damn lucky to escape with my life. Now, I still love the woods, but I'm a lot more careful when exploring it. And after my encounters, I still don't like going into Freetown Fall River State Forest anymore, duty or not.